Okay, hello. Thank you for being here. And now today we will have a Chinese. The reason why I'm doing this, because about last week when I was doing this preparation, I have a really inspiration or realization about these events, and so I need to explain to you, and in order to do that, I need to tell you something about the Chinese language. So, the first thing that you need to know about Chinese language is that it's a very vague language. It's not precise. So a lot of time people ask me what my name means, and I struggle because we put characters together. As you know, our word, we call it word, but the English people call it character. It's like a symbol, and they all have, most of the words I know, they will have more than one meaning. It's kind of like a sense instead of precise meaning. So usually when we talk, we put two characters together to form a vocabulary, and then they will have a precise meaning. So it's very vague. And an example I can say for English is the word juice. So if you think about juice, it's like orange juice, but then it can be lemon juice. And then people say creative juice. And your phone is out of battery, doesn't have juice, petrol, no juice, my car has no. So the juice is not really the orange juice anymore. It's kind of something that flows, something that is like,
Yes.
So this is what the Chinese language is like. A lot of time it's the feeling. And I recognize it when I started having foreign friends, and they ask me about Chinese, what it means, and then I have to explain to them. And I always, it's kind of like this, it's kind of like that. It's because it's not precise. So, and it's very good for us sometimes because, for example, you probably all know the concept yin and yang. For us, we don't learn it in school. They didn't teach us this thing, right? But if you say yin and yang to a Chinese, we all have kind of an understanding. And when I learned kinesiology, they taught me Chinese yin and yang, and my teachers asked me, do you know this? I said, no. But as soon as she told me all these characteristics of yin and yang, I know what she's saying, because we use the character yin and yang a lot. Say if I combine yang, which is like the male thing, with another character that can mean too much, together it means the sun. So, for example, if I combine yin with a character that means sky, so yin sky is cloudy. And then when I'm shaking.
Wonderful, you're wonderful, keep going.
And then, okay, this is very obvious for us when we say yin and wei. Wei is like the road, the path. It means vagina. So it's obviously female. And if we combine the word, the character yang with chu, it's the penis. So when you tell a Chinese about yin and yang, we know exactly. Because we have all these characters, we have all these words that we know. So this is how we just understand things this way. Instead of people actually tell us that this is male, this is yang, and so we just know somehow. And then I want to tell you about how we make the characters, how it all started. A long time ago, they started with a picture. So, okay, there are 6 ways of how they create Chinese characters. So the number one way you probably will all know is just a picture. We see something and then we draw it. And then some people started being too creative. So people standardize and so become our language now. I mean, how we write. So, for example, It's quite ugly. If my Chinese friends are watching, you might disagree with what I say. If you do, make your own video. So, so this is the character now we use for water. So before it would be like flowing, and this is flowing, and this is flowing. Sort of the picture like that. So it's just flowing, and then people just make it into, like we all have to write like that now. So everyone understand each other. And then there is some can you make a guess? No. So just remember, this is like change. It's not the actual picture anymore. We just kind of, because we need to now do a certain way, like how we make the stroke is also standardized, so it will be a certain way. So it does not reflect the actual picture.
So it's not a volcano?
It's close. This is fire. So imagine this is the firewood, and then you have the flame. So can you see the picture?
Yeah.
Good. And now we get more complicated. So
Fish? Oh, a building.
do you remember? Horse. So imagine 4 legs, yes, the tail, and the horse is like this, and then the hair flowing. Can you see now?
Yeah.
And like if you want more. And this one, another animal.
Chicken. Buffalo? Chicken. Cat. Monkey.
Right.
There is 1, 2, 3, 4 legs,
Mm-hmm.
tail, a lion, 3 legs, a dragon.
Okay, if I make it longer,
It's a bird.
Bird.
With 4 legs. 4 legs?
yeah, 4 legs.
And a tail?
Yeah, and a tail.
Yeah, elephant. Like if you just like, can you see it?
Yeah.
So you have to make it like a bit
Oh, those are the big ears.
like that,
Yeah.
and then you can get the.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, easy. So now you know Chinese. When you see a word, you're just like, do I do that or? And so this is the first method how they create characters, and then there are things that you can't really just see, but you can describe. So, for example. So this is like a pointer, it's like a sign. So yeah, because this is like the horizon. And then it's up. And then this one, the horizon. And then it's down. So why we do like a cross, and this one is like a drop, it's just because the way we do the stroke, how we write, we will not see something just like that. So when you start learning Chinese, you will know that you have to write like that, so people can understand.
That's
So-
a style.
Hmm?
Style thing.
Hmm?
That's from the style.
Yeah.
Writing.
Yeah. And so this is very simple. And now, but there are lots of things that we can't draw. Concept. So when they start creating words about concept, it get complicated, and they really need to, in order to put everything in one little picture to show you. The long time ago people, they have to understand what the word means really well. And so I want to tell you about love. And the word love is so see, it's a bit complicated. And it composed of 4 parts. And there's another thing about this Chinese language is because when we have to put several pictures into one picture, we need to just make the picture a little bit more simple. So the first part is actually from the word claw. But a long time ago, before they started differentiating animals and humans, they used the same character for both human and animal. So of course now we don't say this is a claw, this is a hand, but at the time it's similar. And also when we use this, the claw thing is kind of has that action that you reach out instead of just like a hand hanging. So yeah, like you.
Yeah, I didn't remember the name.
Ah, this okay. Yeah, and then this one, maybe I'll just write it. So this part is just represent like a barrier. And okay, barrier, this word is like, it's not a nice thing, but then for the character that means home, we also have it because it's also like a roof. So anything that is covering, separating, not necessarily bad.
Protecting.
Yeah, exactly. And then this part, we have this part here. This is the heart. So if you use your imagination, this is actually like the actual human heart with the artery. If you've seen those kind of simple drawing. Can I draw it? So it's kind of like a heart, and then you can see some artery or vein or whatever it's called. But of course, we make it like that. And then the last part of is this one. So this is like a simplified version of the word that can mean friendship.
Is it the hand version?
You know what? I can't really. This is a proper character, but we need to use another character to combine so that, you know. So this is like has a sense of friendship, or it can be like friendly. Depends on which character you put together. So always about friends, and it's a nice word. And so, what is love? According to long time ago Chinese people, love is when we reach out and across the barrier, whatever, and touch the heart, and to form a friendship. So this is a loving connection. And I didn't know what to call this event. It just came out from my head, the loving connection, and I started calling it, and nobody objected, so I just leave it there. And then when I was preparing, I suddenly remember the meaning. Like this is a teacher, a Chinese teacher told me this word, and I don't know how he knew, because I don't think many people actually study how the characters are formed. A lot of things I just pick it up because people ask me, and I just try to figure it out, and I tell them. So I'm actually making a lot of things up. But Um, and why this word appear on my mind is because I was looking at Hara, who just arrived at the right time. I was looking at the design of the T-shirt, and all these things just very easy because I said, can we put the loving connection? And I don't really care about anything else. And she put the mountain, and I really love it because it's the mountain here and it's nice. This is, I think, the light shining here, and we got the dolphin because Hara said Delphi is from the word dolphin. Yeah, so, and then we got the wings. I suppose it's like angel or something. And of course, we get Hara created a new font because I asked, can we write in ancient Greek? So there isn't any font available, so she made one, and this is Delphi. And so I was looking at the hand and the heart, and I thought, why did she make it? And so I just remember the word, the Chinese word, and how it's formed. And so I realized this astonishing discovery, which is that Hara is actually half Chinese. So there you go.
Wow.
Finish. Hara, would you like to talk about your design? Or?
I think you talked already about it.
So anything else? Okay. Any questions?
And you have the mountain barriers.
Or, honey, what is the Cretan thing they say? Only two mountains cannot meet. They say when, for example, if, say, you come from far away, and then we think, oh, will we see each other again? And then the Cretan people, I don't know if the rest of Greece, but in Greece, two mountains cannot meet. And for the rest of us, we're moving, and anything is possible. So, there you go.
Can find a way.
Yeah. Especially when someone invited me to her house. So, if there's no questions, we'll finish the lecture. And there's no homework.
So,
Thank you.
and
Very nice.